Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first lesson. Um, feel glad Eugene is in the office with me, checking that everything is running smoothly. Now, remember, I said that you must take out your manuals and get familiar with your straight stitch, your satin stitch, and tatami full. Now, different programs give different names to all these, but as we go on, you will get used to them. Now I've got welcome open in front of me. Don't let it scare you. We will get later to like PE designer, Embed, and Artista. Don't hesitate to ask questions. You can email me. And it is a closed group. I'm going to put a moderator on to help me with answers. She's very well known with PE designer. So we'll get a little bit help there. Eugene is working on Embed, so I will get him in to help us with the Embed answers. Looking forward to this, and please, if my tenses in my English is not so correct, please forgive. Like I said in the on the groups, I will help you with the digitizing, and you are going to help me with the English. Right, let's get started. Now my first design on my screen is done with an outline stitch. That's how I done my red work. Uh, I'm using an outline. Some call it a run stitch, some call it a straight stitch. Now, um, if you look here where the cursor is moving, that is the way Welcome shows it, and it calls it a run values. So if I click there and I draw a line, I'll put enter, and if I zoom in, you will see that it's similar to our own sewing machine straight stitch. Now, I only right click to create the stitches, but in some software, you will draw the line and then you will have an option to right click and say convert to stitches. So just play around with your program, with your software to see what effects works on your program. Right, let's go back to the outline stitch. Now, the outline is not only for red work. Uh, you can create beautiful effects with the outline stitch, and but we will get to them one by one. I just thought it will be a good idea showing you what the different stitches is about. Now your before I forget, the outline stitch can only do the outline. It is what you do with the outline stitch that create the different effects. So don't click there and expect something. You can set if you right click on it, you can set the length and so on, but I won't make it complicated now for you. We'll get to that later. Now, if I zoom in, by the way, this is a flower I did today, part of my new set. And as you can see, it's all done in satin stitches. Now, a satin stitch is the needle goes in there and goes in there. It's not like running like a step or a full stitch. It fills up by uh, penetrating the fabric that side and 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 that side. Again, you can set the values to create different effects with that, but this is a very ordinary satin stitch design. Our last design is a combination of the designs. This part here, the face, the body, is a step stitch. There you can see it look different than the step I used there, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. You can see this doesn't look like this. Now, all that I did was I used the, okay, let's create, okay, in this case, I will not use the satin. I'm going to use the tatami. Let me just draw a little block here to see you, to show you why it do look different. That is ordinary default values. Now, if I right click on that and I go to my properties bar, now again, in the different software, you will get these things in different places, but most of the times it is in the object properties. So we'll play with you with your software, and we're a lot here to help each other. So don't let this scare you off. Am on my full stitch, so and it's tatami full. Now, if you see, I've got a random option here. Now, if I select that, okay, I'm going to change it to 66%. And you see it gets a completely different effect. Now, that is what I used here to give the rabbit a little bit a furry effect. So that is the only reason why this and this step looks different. Right. Gets interesting, eh? Uh, Now this doesn't look good on the screen. This is shading, but the shading only really shows up when you stitch the design. Now the shading is done on top of the step stitch, but with an outline stitch. So that is a combination. Done the outline stitch with the shading, and we will get to that and show you perfect way to put your shading into your designs to get it a little bit, to make it a little bit more alive. Now, if we go down to the eyes, the nose, I used again my satin stitch, and how I created that is to use my satin stitch with my manual punch. So if I click like this, that is how I created. You can use that with the tatami values as well, but in this case I used my manual punch with my satin stitch to create that. Now you will see that the stitch angles has been putting automatically for me because I used the manual punch. Right, let's delete that. I'll end this session now for Eugene to check the size of it. I'll be back in a second.